Hey, welcome back, everybody. Today, we are going to dive deep into the topic of arrival fallacy and how it relates to purpose. What is it? How do we define it? And how do we live it? So, by the end of this episode, hopefully, you'll have some food for thought on how to start living your purpose with clarity and intention and freedom and love. So, let's start off with just defining the word purpose. When we look it up in the dictionary, it's just the reason something exists. So when we talk about our life and our life's purpose, we are wondering, why does our life exist? What is the reason we exist to live on this planet? And we make so many decisions in pursuit of finding that clarity so that we might have chosen to live a life in a certain place or to marry a certain person or to take on a certain role because we believe it has a worthy purpose. We might also have so many different inherited beliefs about what our purpose should be based on our culture, religion, or gender, or other identifiers. And medicine is such a beautiful service-oriented profession that we can sometimes often also confound our job's purpose with our life's purpose, and we end up confining ourselves to a specific role and all of the expectations that entails, and judging if we're making enough of a difference or helping enough people or doing it right. And we're also certain that we're doing it wrong all the time. And this can't really be all that it is. And so there's this magical dream that once we get there to this heroic, beautiful purpose of being, let's say, a healthcare provider, because that's what we're talking about, that we're going to feel worthy. And that once we have this wonderful, let's say maybe it's not tied up into your job identity, but it's your purpose as a partner. And once you have this partner or a caregiver role, that you're going to feel so fulfilled or so loved. And we make all of these decisions and sacrifices in pursuit to feel peace or happy or proud of ourselves. And then we all know that when we get to that goal or that destination, that we do feel happy and proud and worthy, but it doesn't last long. And it's always just outside of ourselves because we think that, the next destination has to be better than this, right? Like, okay, I couldn't wait to graduate and get a job, and then I'll feel happy when I have a job. But then we get there and we're like, ooh, why don't I feel happy? Oh, definitely it's because I'm like not known for anything. I haven't made any contributions. So then once I make a contribution, then I'm going to feel really good about myself. So then you're like on to the next. Yeah. And, or same, like similar if it's a home life thing. Okay. Now I have a partner. I can finally feel loved, but why doesn't this feel as good? Oh, I definitely know I'm doing it wrong. My in-laws have to love me. Once I convince them, once everything is peaceful with the in-laws, all will be well. I'll finally feel loved. And it's insatiable. So we're so convinced that there has to be better than here. And if it's not, then we're definitely convinced that we've done something wrong or that we've chosen the wrong thing or that it's just one more destination away. So I love this expression of get your Ferrari fast because we just go ahead and get there. Just go ahead and get to the achievement or the milestone or whatever it is that you think will make you feel a certain way and get it and realize that it's not it and it's not there and there is no better than here. So here's a different thought to try on, something that I learned from my teacher and want to pass it along to you. But what if your reason for existing is just to exist, simply to exist, that you are whole and that you have already arrived? You don't have to search for anything, achieve for anything. You don't have to do anything to fulfill your purpose in life because your existence itself is purposeful. What does that bring up in you? For some people, they're definitely going to feel like that's not enough, that they don't feel like their existence in and of itself is like worthwhile enough or good enough. And so for those people, I have an exercise. Imagine somebody or something in your life or in the world that you love so much. It doesn't even have to be a person. It could be an animal. It could be a place in the world. It could be anything that just fills you with so much love and joy when you think about that person, thing, animal, place. You got it? Okay. Now think about the reason that you love that person, thing, animal, or place. It's just because they are what they are. They don't have to do anything for you to love them, and you don't have to do anything for them. It doesn't have to be a certain kind of way. You love it all the time, even like if it's a place, even though the seasons change, you still love it. If it's, another person, they can be messy and mean and terrible and upset, and you love them deeply. And like anything that they do is a cherry on top. And it's just like you celebrate them, makes your heart sing. So, how about for you? Can your existence be somebody else looking at you and just loving you for just existing, not mattering what you do or what you don't do? Just the fact that you're here living and breathing is beautiful and enough and celebratory, and that your existence is your purpose. I mean, I know it seems like kind of silly. We're here, we're living life. It doesn't seem like that big of a deal. But also, like if we really zoom out and look at somebody's life and all of the depth that the human experience goes through, like that's a lot. Maybe that is just enough. And we can find some like relief in finding this one perfect, monumental, singular purpose to be and to have purpose in, and just be free to embrace the inherent value in simply being alive and simply having these experiences. You don't have to find that perfect purpose to impress others or to meet their expectations. It's more about choosing what really matters to you, regardless of how big or small it may seem. Because if there's nothing attached to it and you don't need to achieve anything, and you don't need anything outside of you to feel successful or proud or happy or loved or worthy, and you already are all of those things, if you allow yourself to choose it and feel it and believe it, that there is no better or more or enough, then you get to decide from a total place of wanting and desire and joy, not needing. You don't have to do anything. You choose to do everything because it's fun, because it's messy, it's complex. You think it's important just for the hell of it, because it lights up your heart, and it just is a fun way to spend your life and your time. So that's the real question. If your purpose is complete, then how do you want to spend your time here on earth? What kind of experience do you want to have? And then you get to decide your purpose on purpose. You will find fulfillment not because what others will think of you when you have these external achievements, but because what you will think of you, because you wanted to, because you're allowing yourself to grow and to try on a different version of self this season, and then a different version later in life. And all of it is because you wanted to and you chose to. Fulfilling a purpose or not fulfilling a purpose will not make you more or less worthy. It's just going to create an experience. It's just going to create an interesting, complex, fun life. And so when there's nothing that you have to do and just the things that you choose to do, you can create and live a life that matters to you, that is fun and meaningful to you and so free. So with all of that background, with that invitation, begs the question, like, now what? What brings meaning and joy to your life? When I ask my students this, who they are and who they want to be, I ask them to think about it in a way that's separate from labels or roles, because that brings so much inherited and picked up beliefs that we attach to those things. So, to be, let's say for me, to be a mom, like, what does that even mean? There's so many definitions of a mom, especially a good mom, So if we remove those labels, maybe I just want to be like a thoughtful friend, a grateful child, a present parent. But all of those still have like labels around it, right? Like, what does grateful mean, and who is defining it? So even if we like remove those vagueness around it, we remove all of that self-judgment and criticism, all of those stories and narratives around ourselves, which distract from the whole point of the exercise, which is that your existence, no matter how messy, is complex, right, is enough. So here are some examples that I'm going to share with you that my students came up with that are not attached to any kind of labels or expectations or roles. I want to love. I want to create. I want to make an impact. I want to explore. I want to grow. What do you think? Are you judging any of these as better? Some are better than others. Some are more worthy than others. Those are all wonderful invitations to ask yourself your beliefs around those and what purpose means. And really just opens you up to your own insights and beliefs that we hold around who we are supposed to be and how we are supposed to fulfill that. So that's just one obstacle that your brain is going to throw at you. Like, this isn't good enough. What did she mean? I have to do these roles. And before we move on to more obstacles, I think the beautiful thing about choosing our purpose free of those labels is that it doesn't matter if I want to, let's say my purpose is to love. I certainly can explore that within the role of being a healthcare provider, of being a partner, of being a caregiver. And if all those things get taken away from me, I can still find so many ways to express it. And there's really no expectations or judgment around like to love. Like, what does that even mean? It's so open to my own interpretation for what feels good and right for me in this season, and is fluid and flexible to continue to change with the seasons. So your brain is going to keep offering you obstacles as you do this work and try to unravel these deep thoughts and inherited beliefs and have really exciting new ones. So now that you've chosen something to do with your time, your beautiful, smart, clever brain is going to protect you. It's going to offer you all the reasons why you can't choose that, internal and external. Self-doubt, procrastination, judgment. It's going to look to your past to know what you're capable of, what other people have told you are possible for you. And that's really important because we didn't ask what you can do. We asked, what do you want to do with your time? And those might be the same exact answer, but that one small shift in your wording might be a really different answer. What do you want to do? Not what you can do or other people have told you, but what inside is calling to you. And remember that your brain desires safety and comfort. And all of those stories of self are often our biggest obstacle. It tells us that we're not good enough, that change is too risky. And I'm sure a million other thoughts that you can shout out right now. So overcoming all of these obstacles really is just a matter of managing our thoughts and managing our emotions. And that's what all of this coaching work is about. What if discomfort and fear didn't mean that you're doing it all wrong or that you've chosen the wrong life path or that it's a bad thing to start over? What if it meant you're exactly on the right path for a breakthrough, for living your biggest dreams, for realigning with your most authentic self, and that you're doing it exactly right? So to live our purpose authentically, we're going to need to really engage in that thought management, that feeling management, and taking lots of action and having effective decision making. So when we say thought management, we're talking about being aware of those thoughts and then intentionally choosing empowering beliefs. And we've touched on this before, but it will keep coming back because it's the cornerstone of consciousness work. Feeling management, when we talk about that, teaches us to embrace all the emotions, even the challenging ones. And we are going to have many future episodes dedicated to emotions. We know that our emotions create our results and that our results create our life. Within all the other things we can't control, that is something we can co-create with. So in living your purpose, we're going to need consistent, intentional action, which remember comes from consistent, intentional feeling and thought combinations. And so allow yourself to dream freely without judgment. We don't have to do anything now or take any actions. We just have to explore and know and be curious. And then if you want to, if you choose to, then you can plan, right? Take concrete steps towards your goals and just take what's called massive action. It's another term that I learned from one of my teachers, and it doesn't mean busy work. It just means relentless pursuit of your dreams until you achieve the desired outcomes. So you're not just taking action without reassessing it and just being busy to be busy, doing the same thing over and over. It just means that you're willing to try an action that you think will get you closer to your purpose or is aligned with your purpose. And if it brings you closer to living that out in a fulfilling way, beautiful. Keep doing it. And if it doesn't, beautiful. Great information to vary it, to try something different, to repeat and to rinse and repeat until you have momentum in where you're going. And it's really just keeps coming back to thought and feeling management. And as we continue this journey, I want you to remember that even if we never achieve the purpose, it doesn't mean that we're not good enough or worthy enough or we didn't choose the right thing. Because remember, we're not doing this for anything or anyone except that we want to, except that we choose to. And no experience ever goes unwasted unless you choose for it to. So even if it takes you in the wrong direction, that's really good information. It doesn't go wasted if you don't allow it to go wasted. You take the riches from it, you take the lessons from it, you use it to clarify things, and you turn around and you go somewhere else and you do something different. And you just keep staying honest with yourself that you are already whole and worthy, and your life is already whole and worthy, and you continue to approach this work and purpose from a place of joy and play and desire. And there's no downside, because even if you never achieve what you're trying to achieve, A, you had a great time because you did it from joy, and B, you have become this incredible person. Who do you evolve to? Who do you become in the process? Is it really about arriving there, or is it about who you evolve and become as you try along the way? There are so many gifts in the becoming. So let me just play with a real life example. Let's say there is a population of your patients that you're really interested in and they need more support. Maybe they need a dedicated clinic. And you think that that's going to be so fun. I just really want to open up this clinic for this exact patient population. That's what my heart wants. It'll be a fun challenge. And yeah, it's going to make my life hard. It's going to give me headaches, but it's rewarding and it's worth it. And let's say you try for years and you don't even ever achieve getting to that full-time clinic, but you had set aside and able to get the resources for even a half-day clinic, 1 day a week. And that didn't exist before. And how much does that serve the population? What a beautiful gift you gave them. And how much did you learn in overcoming all of those challenges and who you had to become and how you had to love yourself through it and how you had to be creative and collaborative, and you became a better provider. The clinic, the community, got more resources for this population. There's more awareness and attention to this exact patient population. And it's because you were willing to try one of 1,000 ways that you could think of to serve that population and to love them. And so sure, the original goal of a full-time clinic didn't pan out, and you still became a person who transformed in the process. There were so many wonderful strategic byproducts that touched so many people's lives in countless ways that you might not even know, all because you thought, that's a fun way to spend my time. And you came from a place of abundance and worth and wholeness, and not from a place of judging and that thinking the only way to be worthy and valuable is by treating a certain type of patient in a certain type of way with a certain type of vision in a way that really shuts you down and keeps you in self-criticism and perfectionism and constant searching and never achieving and never failing, right? But in the opposite way, in a way that opens you up to your own power, your own capacity, the love and the awe all around you and within you to make people's lives better and hopefully to make your life a little more fun and quote unquote better too. Although we know that there is no better. Life is all just 50-50 and the end result might be the same. Maybe you don't even get to open the clinic, but the journey is going to be different based on your ability to come from that place instead of a place of hustling and scrambling and never good enough and, not fulfilling, and coming from a place of peace and possibility. The world is going to constantly offer us their judgments, their opinions, unsolicited, their guidance. And we have to bring it back always to the very first episode, the 2 ground rules we were talking about. That duality, the 2 sides of the coin, where we are our own authority and we hold space for ourselves and others. And that will always give us the ability to dance and the freedom to find our way with the most love and abundance and power to give us a meaningful life, because we have allowed for that, our opinion to matter as much as we're allowing for other people's opinions to matter. So remember, your purpose is not waiting for you. You're already it. You're living it. You are it. How do you want to spend this time on earth? For our ending tradition, we'll just shout out a few more questions for you to play around with and chew on. So not just how do I want to spend my time and energy on earth, but why? Why do you want to? What do you think you'll gain when you do it or achieve it? Who am I in the gaining and achieving of it? And who am I even if I don't gain it or achieve it? Who am I without any of these roles or labels? Just the essence of me. How can I express that essence within all the roles and labels that I have to play and navigate? Not allowing those roles and labels to define me or validate me, but just letting them be playgrounds of expression for my desires and joys. I am wishing all of you play and possibility and peace. I'm wishing you to feel supported in this space. And I am so, so honored to be a part of your soul tribe. I'm sending you so much love, and I'll see you next week.